Thank you, whoever that is. Happy Friday. Hey, y'all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to the two people that gave me a thumbs up. Happy Friday to you. Okay, y'all. They stopped playing that music. It's loud. Happy Friday. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? You guys remember to look at the legs move. Watch the legs move. Hopefully that encourages you to get up and move in some form or fashion. You doesn't necessarily have to be walking, but it's free and everybody's on that bandwagon right now. So get up and walk if that's what you need to do. Walk, run, skip, jog, hop, do whatever it is that you need to do. I just named 5 things. You can go swimming. You can ride your bicycle around the neighborhood, in the park. You can ride your stationary, right? Treadmill, walking pad, elliptical. Just named 11 things. You can go swimming. You can play tennis. You can play basketball. Get the kids, get the neighborhood kids, get the nieces and nephews, get the neighbors. Y'all play flag football, okay? Game of basketball, kickball, whatever it is that you can do to get up and to just move your body, move your body. Do that. Work your body, work your body. Make sure you don't hurt your body. Work your body, work your body. Don't overexert your body. Meet yourself where you are, start where you are. Don't try to do things that are too strenuous for you and you're not ready. Okay? Hey, show enough. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Show enough says, hey, Lance, I've been a minute. I always love your encouragement. Thank you, Show enough. Show enough says, hello, everybody. Thank you to the 3 people that have given me a thumbs up. We're just going to try to get it in today. It's Friday, y'all. I've been working on developing and pushing another platform. So I haven't been staying on like an hour, hour and a half. But we still get it in over here in Lions Pride because that's going to always be my baby. Thank you, Show enough, for dropping down and saying something. And to anybody who has come through and didn't say hello, thank you all as well because you gave me a view and I appreciate it. A view is the least a person can do, right? So I appreciate you. However you decide to support, whether it's to say something, say hello, leave a chat in the replay comment section. Say hi while we're walking and talking, because that's what we do over here in Lions Pride. We've been doing it for about 3 years straight. Okay? God willing, with the blessings of God, we'll continue to do that. Yes, yes, right, sure enough, right. So if you guys want to say something, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. But if you are somebody who who always talk about supporting, but you never drop down and say at least hi, then I don't know what to tell you when you don't see me around. Cause I will come and I'll say hello whether I catch her live or not. If I don't catch the live, I'll catch the replay. I'll catch a part of it. Look at the mushrooms, y'all. I'll catch some part of it. Look at those mushrooms. What's going on, Latif? Look at the mushrooms. Because people always talk about support, but then they come to your chat when they know they want support at that time. Then you stop seeing them. Or they come and say hello and they dip real quick. Now, people are busy, right? Because people be peopling, right? We be busy. But if I sit in your chat for a minute and you come up here and say, hey, hello, and dip, I'm going to give you the same energy I get. All right? That it is what it is. We have to show support in the same way that we receive support. So I don't wait around for it a lot, but you pay attention and you pay close attention. So do what you need to do. We multitask, y'all. It's okay to just say, I go into a lot of chats and I say hi, and then they don't see me again, but I let them know I'm letting you play. I'm letting you play. Even if I have to put it on my laptop, my tablet, or something else as I use a phone. Or I just let them play on the phone, right? But you know who's dipping and dodging. But then they want to use your name. They want to use support. Y'all better learn how to reciprocate, right? Reciprocate. And you're not going to be in every live. That's not possible. It's too many of us on here. That's just like we don't get all our notifications, y'all. We don't. Because there's too many people. You cannot get all these notifications. Sometimes you get them late, you know, and sometimes you're just busy. Like people be peopling, okay? Like they say, life be lifing. Well, also people be peopling. So if you're multitasking right now and you got me playing or you catch my replay or whatever you do, I appreciate you. There are so many ways to support, right? You can like, comment, subscribe. Once you subscribe, ring my doorbell. It's better known as a YouTube notification bell. Tap it and tap all so that you'll be notified. And if you feel like you're not getting notified, the people who you truly support, go back, unsubscribe, wait a couple of minutes, and resubscribe. That's how you do that. But we got to understand that there is no way when we're subscribed to hundreds and hundreds of people, we can't get all those notifications, y'all. We just can't. It's not rocket science. Yes, I can't see because of that sun showing up, but I see you say something about health. Last Pride, I like supporting life. Yes, life healthier for real health. Exactly. Latif says, what's up, showing up? Thank you guys for dropping in, saying hello. We won't be here long because I do know that people are busy, right? And I think it's selfish to stay on live longer than like an hour. Maybe two. Maybe two. Because we're trying to support so many people. And I feel like if we all just take a little bit of time through the day to go live and leave some time open for everybody else to get some support, then that's a better way of being able to support more people too. You know, unless you have some type of activity or something going on, or some type of live event where you're doing some type of show. Yeah, sometimes we get on here and we hang out for like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, right? Because we're having fun. Or we're doing what that Copyright 107 says. Informing, entertaining, educational. You know, that's what the apps are for. Informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only, right? And when we do not own the rights to the things that we decide to share, we have to let that be known as well. And so on that note, I'm going to let you guys know, professional disclaimer. The app does not certify us, right? Those of us who are into health and fitness, the app doesn't certify us. It doesn't give us registrations, licenses, or proper education, formal education. We obtain that on our own, right? So if you see me do something over here or you hear me say something, do so at your own risk. Don't do it. Do so at your own risk. Always, always, what do I tell you every day? Consult with your primary healthcare provider, right? That could be your general practitioner, your main doctor, your physician's assistant, your nurse practitioner. If you've had injuries in the past, you definitely want to consult with them and your physical therapist, your occupational therapist, right? For a lot of us, half of the journey is the diet. Your dietitian, your nutritionist, right? Mental, your psychologist, your psychiatrist. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Remember that. And each week there's something that we've been targeting, like paternal mental health, maternal mental health, children's mental health, men and women. All right? No matter how strong a person may appear to be, those who you know and love, just check on them sometime and ask them if they're okay. Thank you, Show Enough. Lodge Pride just want to support but have to show up for others. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Show Enough. That's why I say I try to keep it to like usually an hour, hour and a half, no more than 2. But you know, sometimes you get on here, especially if you start having panels, you're having fun, and it may go 2 hours or more, right? That's a good thing. People are networking, people are engaging. But just generally speaking, I'm over here now walk and talk. I try to keep it to like an hour, hour and a half. And this week I've been kind of keeping it under an hour. Keeping it under an hour. Because I hear so many people talk about, it's so funny, y'all, that usually, listen, I'm a realist. When people say something doesn't bother them, but they're talking about it, it bothers them, right? Now you can touch on some things that you notice, some things that you witness, some things that you're aware of. You can spread some awareness. You could just have general conversation, adult conversation about adult topics. But when a person says, I've been listening to a lot of people, be right back sharing this out. Thank you, Show Enough. I appreciate you. I listen to a lot of people that say, whatever the situation is that's going on, they'll say it doesn't bother them, right? And they'll stay on that topic for quite some time. To that, I'm going to say about 70% of the time, it has bothered you a little bit. Otherwise, we wouldn't talk about it. I'm going to be real with you. If I say something about something, it bothers me. I don't let it stress me out unless it's something that's really important to me. But when it comes to the app and the actions on the app and the things that people do on these apps, a lot can bother you, but it doesn't mean you have to let it stress you out, right? It doesn't mean you have to let it stress you out. Latif says mental health is so important. Thank you guys. If I miss your comments when you're leaving a comment, I'm not ignoring you. You guys, you know I walk and talk, so I'm walking, I'm talking. I got to keep my head on the swivel. I got to look around. You got to be aware of your surroundings, and you have to watch the traffic. You have to be aware of people, and you have to be aware of traffic, right? So you guys know I got you. You know I got you. You know I got you. Yes, Latif, mental health is so important. And that's for everybody. Men, women, children, toddlers, infants. When a mom doesn't, connect with her baby, hold her baby close, that's not good emotionally for that baby, right? So it affects everybody, no matter what age, no matter what size, no matter what creed or color. I just saw somebody, he was door dashing, right? He pulled up to a place, he just like swerved in really, really like aggressively, right in front of my vehicle, right? So me, I'm like, what type of time is he on, right? So the youth in me, the younger me, is about to like get out and just go the F off. But I told you guys what? You have to acknowledge your flaws. I have a lack of patience. I have a lack of patience and tolerance for BS. So I sat there patting my feet because I'm like, he's got to be having a bad day. Something is up with him. But I didn't even know he was door dashing, right? So I just waited. I patiently waited because I wasn't in a hurry. I didn't have much to do. And you have to be careful a lot of times about saying things to people now because you never know what they do. Some people don't talk back, right? Some people don't respond. They just grab weapons, right? So I keep a weapon on me, okay? I ain't got no shame in that. Like, it is what it is. You do what you do for you. So I'm sitting here, and a lot of times I won't carry my weapon because I know my temper and I know my lack of patience. At the right moment, the right situation. So I ain't trying to have it with me, right? But you do need your stuff for protection. You have to know. That's why I say, when it comes to mental health awareness, hey, Jill, welcome to the chat, Jill. When it comes to mental health, you gotta really be on top of that kind of stuff And you got to be on it when these people are giving people jobs and stuff like that. Like they're giving these police officers. I saw a police officer on here talking about he gets up, he busts his butt, he's like a deputy or something, he's a sheriff. He goes and he does his job, right? 40 hours plus a week. And then he has a second job. And he's talking about he doesn't know what white privilege is. Right? Okay, so I guess he thought he was saying something sweet or whatever, but a lot of people in the comments let him know that it wasn't sweet. So I ain't even have to say nothing. Y'all know sometimes you can just watch. Sometimes something can rub you the right way. You want to leave a comment, but just pause for a second. Because sometimes somebody else in their comment is going to address the situation. I'm saying, now you sitting here talking about you weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You work 40 hours a week. You work an extra job. A lot of us do that. He fails to realize that when we talk about privilege, it's systemic. It's systemic. It's the systemic privilege that he has over somebody of color. You don't have to admit it. I don't care if you admit it or not. In this system, there are systemic biases, and they're based on racism and stereotypes. Okay? And for anybody who has a problem with what I'm saying, just like every live I've done this week, look at our current president's administration. There's nobody in that administration. You know how they have police officers, they try to get them to go into the neighborhoods of people who don't look like them, to maybe at least they can't identify with the way those people grew up, but they can maybe get into those neighborhoods and maybe start to understand a little bit before the serious stuff pops off. Okay. Well, we have an administration now that has nobody of color in it. And the ladies who are in the administration, they think that they're winning. The Caucasian women, look at the roles that he's placed you in and the roles that he gives to you. Okay? So if you don't start getting in touch with the fact that most things are socioeconomic and about race, then you're going to always be that one that's thinking, oh, like this police officer, I work and bust my butt. There's no, how am I privileged? You're privileged because when you go to the bank and you apply for a home loan, your credit can be 40 to Shitsville. My credit may be $7.99. By the time we leave out of there, and you talk to your good old boy that's sitting behind the counter, who you know, and he probably can't even stand you. But when you leave out, your mortgage may be $850. My mortgage is going to be $1,520 per month. Give or take, those are just numbers depending on where you live, but y'all get the idea. So when we talk about you being privileged, it's because you can go into the bank and get the better loans at the most jacked up credit rates. We can have the best credit rates. Unless we're dealing with a bank that's halfway fair, we're going to still get the worst loan repayment plan, okay? When you go into a place, you know everything is pretty much online now. Do you know back in the day when you would go in and you would put in a job application, how many of my people, their job application went straight into the garbage? Everybody else's job application got filed? Yeah, sure enough, it's like, he is, I know he was at least, because he was talking about getting off work playing with his grandbaby. So he had to be, grandpas and grandmas are kind of young now. But just looking at him, he had to be late 40s, early 50s. So you're mad because you have to work 2 jobs. And instead of looking at the bigger picture and everything about it, you're looking at the fact that you don't feel privileged because you have to work 2 jobs. But still, even though you bust your butt, we bust our butts too. There are lazy people in every race, every culture. There are people who work hard for what they get. But what he still doesn't realize is that systemically, there are biases. They've been there, they are there, and they will always be there. Because of course, after all, they're trying to make America great again, right? And that's when people felt like they were great. If they had nothing else on you, if they could have that, At least they weren't that. Okay? So don't play. Don't play. Don't leave that shit in my comments. Cause I will I will cuss you the F out. But I try not to, because there ain't no need to get your blood pressure up over an app, over people. Because it's just like they say, it's not the world, it's the people. It's not the app, it's the people. People be peopling. Okay? People be peopling. And now they're just trying to just take away your freedom of speech. Y'all know that James Comey, if you don't know him, look him up. Because a lot of people aren't into politics. And a lot of people are only into politics when there's a racist component or something ugly or bad going on. He put a number down. They're saying, well, he was the FBI, whatever. He should have known what it was. Tell me why they want to investigate this man. But the same thing has happened to Joe Biden, and Biden didn't say a word. In fact, sites are selling the shirts with the same number, but the number is talking about Biden. Those shirts are for sale. Those shirts are for sale. Biden didn't investigate anybody. So for people thinking, oh, you know, it's everything is fair, stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying. There are members in this society, members of citizens in this country who think that black people, I don't know what they think that we are, because they don't even think that we're second-class citizens. So they treat dogs and horses better. Okay? Okay? Now I'm all about dog being a man's best friend, because your dog can help you when a person may not help you. But I'm talking general. I'm generally speaking. Okay? You have those that place certain Americans on the top, animals second, and then the rest of us, depending on our color, we fall that way. And that's the truth. You don't have to admit it. See, people who don't experience it, they don't want to admit it. And some of them know. They know. That's why they're trying to erase the history. But as long as there are people who remember history, I'm not going to say it won't repeat itself. You know, they used to say if you don't remember history, it will repeat itself. Well, we have a lot of people who remember it, but it's being allowed to be repeated because we don't have enough people active preventing the repetition, okay? Preventing that from happening, right? So you got a lot of us that are still on here arguing, fussing, and not just on apps, at home, in your community, with people you know, people you grew up with, trying to figure out who has the best car, who has the best home. What does it matter when people's jobs are being threatened? You have so many federal workers who have lost their jobs. Their mortgage may not be paid off. And we're arguing with each other about who has the best looking home, who has the best looking cars, who can afford this, who can afford that, when we're right now under a governmental system who is working on being able to take everything from you if they can. So Lord willing, next election, and I'm not talking about presidential election, I'm talking about Congress. For those who think that voting doesn't matter, I guess you don't see all those people being sent to El Salvador. I guess you don't hear the talk of, well, maybe even opening up Alcatraz. And a lot of people always say that what this man and his people do is just talk, right? Tell me something productive, something good he has done for the American people. All he's done is talk about taking from organizations that help the underprivileged, taking from organizations that help the poor, the elderly, those who need health insurance, taking, cutting, saving that money that way. That's all we've been hearing. And then you have people who were, oh, give him time. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican, if a Democrat gets in office, of course, Democrats say give him time. If a Republican gets in office, Republicans are going to say give him time. Well, why should we give him time for what? To continue to neglect the things that should be doing to have us, to keep this country functioning in a good way? He's worried about scooping people up. And then don't tell me about if they want to come here legally. Hell, this land was taken illegally from people. So don't tell me about that. It's so funny that you get a group of people who think that they're just privileged to have anything, and they're privileged run so deep until they think it's not privilege. The privilege runs so deep that they think it's not privilege. That's crazy. Okay, sure enough, have a great weekend. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. The privilege runs so deep until they don't think it's privilege. In fact, they to them, that's the way it's supposed to be. There's a pecking order. So you guys, take some time over the weekend to think about where you are, where you were, where you are, where you want to be. All right? Think about where your family was, where your family is, and where your family would like to be. Also, your friends. And when I say your friends, I mean your real friends. People that you know, people that you can reach out and touch, that you can pick up the phone and call without worrying about them having your number. People that you know, okay? And when it comes to the apps, let's try to show each other a little bit more compassion, a little bit more understanding. And like my people always said, my granny always said, if you can't get along, get on. If you can't get along, get on. Don't waste your time and energy on people that you can't get along with. Don't waste your waste your brain. Listen, don't focus on that, right? Worry about the people that you really, really know, the people who really, really do for you, the people who you would really, really do for at the drop of a hat. And most times those aren't people on these applications. Now, have there been some bonds formed? Yes. But always, always, always try to put God first, of course, because without him, you can't put anything else first. And most of us, we put our families first, and that's great. Family and close friends. But remember to sometimes put yourself first. Treat yourself. And I'm not just talking about like to getting your nails done. I'm not just talking about like going and getting a massage or some type of spa treatment. I'm talking about truly treat yourself. Take some time out for yourself and use some of those R words that we talk about over here. Truly relax. Truly relax. Take some deep breaths in. Inhale that oxygen, that O2. Then exhale, release that carbon dioxide, that CO2 and other waste. Focus on that. Do some things like holding your earlobe and just gently shaking that earlobe. You have problems with your equilibrium, vertigo, sit quietly somewhere and just take your hand from the top all the way around to the bottom and just kind of shake your earlobe and just think of something positive. Think of a positive place. Think of a positive place. For me, it's the ocean. That's why I love the ocean sounds. That's why my older videos were videos of the ocean. And the rain is a close second. So just shake your ear and move along from the top. Go about midway, shake your ear, and go around to the lobe and just shake your ear. Just shake it. About 20 to 30 seconds each. Anywhere from a minute to a minute and a half. Okay? And just deep breathe. Deep breathe. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. Come on, Lateef. Exactly. Come on, Lateef. You need to use that one, bro. Put it on a t-shirt. Treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. That's perfect. That's perfect. Y'all know I love that. I love those colloquialisms. Coming up with colloquialisms. Yeah, I love that. Your own little verbiage, your own little language. And it's positive. It promotes positivity within. So a lot of times people think that when you say about, like when I say peace, positivity, and prosperity, so we got to think about self more. That's why I say motivate yourself. We're adults. We need to adult. Like, I don't need another adult woman to motivate me to do anything. Not knocking somebody who needs that, because hey, if that's where you are, that's what you need, that's where you are, and that's what you need. But I don't need another adult woman to motivate me to do anything. And when I do need another woman to motivate me to do something, it's going to be a woman who cares about me. It's going to be a woman who knows me, who knows how I am when I'm good, who knows how I am when I'm bad, who knows how I am when I'm happy, who knows who I am when I'm mad. And that can only be close family and friends. Now, through these apps, people can figure out when anybody's happy or pissed off or ticked off. But I don't need motivation from strangers, right? Motivate yourself. Latif says, "You come on, bro. I know it. I know. You know, we be taking breaks, and I know, like you, who else? Fishing time. All my brothers. That's why. Listen, that's how I am. My bros. And then when I'm listening to you guys, I'm listening from a man's perspective. I have a lot of important men in my life. I have. My mom has like 13 siblings. 9 of them are men. My father, my grandfather, my great grandfather. You know, my brothers, and just men on here who I can appreciate for as much as I can appreciate. Like, I don't know you guys personally, and like I said, I don't come on here to make friends, just like we don't go to work to make friends. But we do come on here to network, and there are some people on here that I can respect. You can respect somebody that you never met because you're respecting them based on the actions that you have seen so far, the actions that you've seen thus far. So my chat has gotten back to what I love, what I like, kind of small chat, just connecting, networking, having conversation with people, you know, who think alike. And even when we don't agree or think the same way about something, we have a way about ourselves that allow each other to have those thoughts and opinions that we have. If Latif says something that I don't agree with, I don't feel like I can't say, bro, look, I don't think that's true. I can't say I think maybe that might be true for the people you've encountered or the situations you've been in. And I know that it can be true because I don't ever think that there's an all with everything. So I can't downplay what his opinion is or what his thoughts are because they come from what he's experienced. They come from what he believes, you know? So I can't downplay that. And Latif is going to be like, sis, for real? He may even try to not really convince me, but explain to me in a way that I can see and understand, and I appreciate that. I don't like it when somebody tries to make you understand in a way that they get angry till you still don't. But I do like people who allow open dialogue. Because see, once the dialogue is done, I still may not agree with you, and you still may not agree with me. But we've had dialogue, and now I can maybe understand your perspective better. Maybe now I can understand your perspective better. Maybe now you can understand my perspective better. Because you're coming from a different place than I'm coming from. So I can never discount the way you feel. You are well protected, sis. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Jill says, true indeed. Latif says, just because we may disagree don't mean we not cool anymore. Exactly. Latif, bro. That's why I say I'm glad my chat is back to low key. My brothers that came back, like you and Fishing Time, y'all had taken a break. Who else? It's a couple of more. I love it when the men come in the chat. My bro Chef found his wine dips in here sometimes. Chef be working. He probably still working now. Or he about to get off. Jill comes in the chat. Like, I like the people who I kind of started out with, and all of them that I didn't really start with, I became aware of them shortly after. Right? Shortly after. So I don't have to have a chat full of people that I don't know. Because I ain't on here looking to get rich. It took me forever to go ahead and just do the monetization thing. And that was just to see if they was going to let me do it. So they let you do it, you get it. Hey, you get what you get. You don't want to turn it down. If it's available to you, make it available. Let it be available to you. Never turn it down. You never know when you may get that extra couple of $100. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to what? Come right on time. It's going to come right on time. So I feel like you got to work. Now, if you're retired and you're on here trying to make that money, more power to you. Or if you just go viral, more power to you. Or if you're working full time and you're just on here to get some extra or make that money. We're all here trying to be successful, but success doesn't always mean a money bag, a money grab, right? Success can mean that you touch people that you don't even know that you touch. And that's why I say I have to be careful sometimes when I go into the health and fitness. I don't go into the educational part of it much because I don't want anybody, because we know how people be peopling. And not only that, you never know where somebody is. You remember when I say you got to meet yourself where you are? Don't get out here and try to do things that you can't do, things that you know you're not physically able to do, or things that you're not, like, just like going to apply for a job that you know you're not qualified for. Why would you do that? And then you get on the job and these people have done the orientation and paid the money for your drug screening, your background check, And then they think, okay, I got to train him or her, but they've done this before in some capacity. And then you're out there like a fish out of water because you never did it before. And now they got to retrain somebody else. And then they've got to let you go or find another position, which may decrease your pay. And then you're going to be a little embarrassed. If you got any type of respect about yourself, you will be, especially if you lied. You know? So don't get out here trying to do things that you can't do, trying to impress people that you don't know. Most people out here are bothered. And what do I always say? Don't let bothered people bother you. Latif says, just because, oh, yeah, I got that one. Don't let bothered people bother you. You got enough going on that could be bothering you day to day, in our day-to-day activities, right? We got enough stuff going on that we have to tend to, that we have to see about with yourself, with your family and friends, with your spouse, your significant other, your parents, your children, your family, your friends, you know? And so, like I say, my patience are short. And that's why I always tell y'all what, things are easier said than done. Because I can get on here and be talking to y'all and telling y'all something. But guess what? I'm not just talking to you guys, I'm talking to myself. Remember what I said, you have to motivate yourself? Sometimes you got to lift yourself up. And sometimes that's not always easy. And so when it's not easy and you do need a helping hand, don't be afraid to ask. Just make sure that you're asking the appropriate person, the correct people, okay? Because some people aren't looking to pull you up. You confide in them and you tell them what's going on, and they listen with an open ear and with the, okay, I understand. I know. They give you a whole conversation, right? You walk away feeling a little bit better. And the next time you encounter them, you feel as if they're holding that against you. You feel as if they're holding that against you through something they say or a way that they act. That's why you have to be careful with who you confide in. You truly have to be careful with who you confide in. That's not about an app. That's anybody. That's anybody. So we kind of doing just a slow walk today, y'all. Just talking. Just walking and talking. Getting the walk and talking in. Just walking and talking. Getting the walk and talking in. Right?